I want to tell you about what I did last week. I spent much of my week in California, all right? Off the coast of California, at any given moment, I could count with my own eyes 20 to 30 container ships. Now, we know there are more than 100 waiting to unload at the port of Los Angeles or Long Beach due to this supply chain crisis. Well, Joe Biden, he said, had the perfect solution to all this. He told us the ports would be running 24/7. What you are about to hear turns out to be another big lie. Remember this?
After weeks of negotiation and working with my team and with the major union retailers and freight movers, the Port of Los Angeles announced today that it's going to begin operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
What a joke. That was weeks ago. Take a look at this. This is the Port of Los Angeles official schedule. There is no third shift running, and it's closed most of Saturday and all of Sunday. Look at the date there, 11/6, 11/7, that's Saturday and Sunday. That's this weekend. Here is the Port of Long Beach. I pulled their schedule as well today. It lists the overnight third shift as TBD, to be determined. That means closed. And like Los Angeles, the Long Beach port is also closed nearly all of Saturday and Sunday. That's not 24/7, folks, yet no media outlets are reporting on Joe Biden's big lie. His solution isn't a solution at all. It is a fairy tale. And we, here at Newsmax, right on Stinchfield, are here to expose it. Well, I want to welcome in my panel now. Co-hosts of Chicks on the Right, Amy Jo Clark and Miriam Weaver, are both with us. Welcome, ladies. Miriam, I want to start with you. What do you make of Joe Biden's big lie here and nobody reporting on this?
Who is surprised by this? For real. This is why, can we just add this to the column, the long, ever-growing column of reasons that I love Governor Ron DeSantis? Because Governor Ron DeSantis is going to make sure Christmas happens. He's got the ports open in Florida and cargo ships are on the way.
You know, Amy Jo, what's crazy is it only took me, I don't know, 5 minutes. I was an investigative reporter. I got some Emmys to my name, but I didn't really have to do much investigating. 5 minutes to pull the schedule. Not one media outlet is checking Joe Biden on this.
Yeah, right. It's like, I want to talk to all the other media and be like, let me Google that for you. Oh, wait, I don't even know if Google will have that, right? I know. They're going to be completely silent about this, Grant, because they don't want to talk badly about their dear leader.
All right, I want to change topics on you. Miriam, let me play a soundbite from you. This is from Jason Johnson. He was on MSNBC, left-wing pundit, talking about Joe Biden's unfavorability rating and why it is in the tank. Well, wait till you hear this. Listen.
Those people who voted for him, those Americans who actually believe in this country, believe in democracy, including people who didn't vote for Biden but are certainly not insurrectionist terrorists, they feel like they got punched in the face on January 6th. They saw the whole country get attacked. And they want a president who's going to fight back. They want a president who talks about these terrorists the same way that we heard George Bush and Bill Clinton talk about terrorism for 20 years.
Miriam, you've got 500 people either in lockup or under house arrest for basically taking an unorganized tour. We all agree those who engage in violence should be punished. The large majority, overwhelming majority did not. He says Joe Biden should be tougher on January 6th. That's why his approval. I haven't heard anybody talk about January 6th.
No, and to keep referring to it as an insurrection, there's not been a single person charged with insurrection. So that's point number one. And if they want to keep going with this idea that they want to treat Americans who simply want to exercise their right to peaceful protest as terrorists, that is a losing formula. And I encourage them to keep going with it because I think that just means a win from top to bottom for Republicans. We are tired of being referred to that way.
Amy Jo, I wonder if there's any reasonable Democrats out there. I went to a baby shower for a 23-year-old young woman who's 9 months pregnant. 9 months ago, she waltzed into the Capitol. No violence, not accused of anything. You know, she was offered a deal by the government, 4 years in the federal penitentiary after being locked up for 9 months in her own home. Now, what reasonable person would think that's not political persecution?
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And and listen, going back to Johnson on that, I think that we talk a lot on our show about how a lot of these other networks, they don't even talk about what's actually going on in our country right now. A lot of people are just ignoring the things, kind of like Joe Biden and not knowing what, or just people thinking that he's doing a good job when he's actually not doing a good job. But I mean, this guy makes absolutely zero sense. He's making stuff up because he wants to cover up the fact that Biden's unfavorability is due to the fact that he's inept, he's sleepy, he's senile, he's a complete disaster, and he destroys everything that he touches. That's why they're making stuff up right now.
He sure is, boy. I mean, it's just bad news watching him in action. Amy Jo Clark, thank you. Miriam Weaver, it is great to see you both, ladies. We'll see you again real soon. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.